Alright. So we're gonna check out this little drug den.
This screen found A to Z
Drug truck.
Contemporary is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers.
Okay, how are we gonna get this? Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Really?
There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
How are we gonna get this open? It's recessed as in it's inside this thing? Maybe.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Alright. Tool not equipped. That'll definitely make things harder. Here you go. How about we equip the pry bar?
This screen found A to Z
Oh, wow.
Contemporary is parked in the shadow of the ruins.
I am
looming
so bad
overhead.
at physical
It's
instrument,
seen better days.
Try and smash it.
Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass.
Hit it again.
Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
The window appears to be shatterproof.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
It takes the pry bar from you and gestures for you to step back. Then, with a little warning,
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now.
nice.
It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside.
Alright, he's stronger than me, sure. Open the door.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Okay, so not very organized. Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
Okay, so old.
One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Maybe I can grab it.
There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Stop and wonder, what's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade number 5.
How do I know so much about perfumes? Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera.
Maybe it's worth something, grab it.
This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too.
Well, it makes pretty bad being an actress, I suppose. Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Can't use this radio then.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Then leans closer to radio and hums. Maybe, well, I guess she travels around a lot, so you need a lot of radio stations. What about this Speed Freaks FM? Is it one of the saved stations here?
No, that's on 78.9.
He stops coughing. He stops coughing awkwardly. Raise your eyebrows.
What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
You like Speed Freaks, that's okay. Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
Okay, so it's not for listening to radio, it's for talking to people, huh? He flicks a switch on the radio. Huh.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
Alright, what else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Alright, check the pedals first.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver.
Okay, abandoned lorry.
But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
The throttle, huh?
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper?
A novel
Another
technique.
technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boots. Oh, dude. Right boot sole.
Yes.
He likes where this is going. One of the footprints of the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
The lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. Women always up to something. Wait, the missing 8th Hardy here?
Looks like her, yes.
And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching.
Yep.
Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
That would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
Understood.
Yeah.
We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter.
You write something
we
down in
finished
the
with the
little
lorry?
notebook.
The
No.
movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
We never found any drugs. Pull out the pull-out
A
toolbox.
metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Petty Ferik from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system.
The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
He starts trail off. Leans over his shoulder to examine the note. Alright, push in the pull-out
The
toolbox.
pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
Alright, close the door.
You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective?
He steps
Before
away from
we
the
return
lorry.
to Joyce?
Sure.
Alright, we're finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something the police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
Yep, lots of drugs.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
I mean, it's a big city.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
Indeed.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Who knows?
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
Indeed.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
A lot of women there, especially for the lady driver's cabin.
Yes, well,
It doesn't say more. Alright, so it turns out this is connected to the Union.
like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here.
I can try.
At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
Alright, will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
Alright, good.
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
You think corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay, debrief over.
Debrief over.
He nods after you. Alright. Sure. So we didn't find any drugs. Confront Hardy Boys about the drug trade. Person present at the lynching is also involved with the drug trade through the harbor, which links them to Hardy Boys. See what Titus say about it. The jam mystery. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients of drugs. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we know. Let Everard know you open the door. Alright, keep asking her questions. Give the reality lowdown. Hey, officer, got a minute? I guess. Wanna talk?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
The racist told us where her cabin is. We only searched it.
Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who tell on her. But is she in trouble?
I mean, it's gonna be an investigation.
It's that bad.
He leads out. Let us a whistle.
Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
Is that bad? She lets out a whistle, looking about 10 years older. No need for you to do anything. Don't worry. The police are looking into it.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Yeah, you can be a musician. That's
The
okay.
correct grammar is Tommy Lahome.
Why Tommy Lahome?
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
And he shrugs, what can you do, man? Alright. I had another question, actually.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
No, can't do anything here. I'm not gonna ask him for money. Come on. Have some respect. You know what? We'll talk to Everett. Hey, racist man. You still being threatened by me?
Looking for something?
I'm going. Don't you worry about me. Anything new going on with you?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Chant furiously. Alright, I'm just gonna leave, yeah. Seems like that would be the smart thing to do. Talk to this guy just chilling out over here.
So, how'd you like the harbor?
He stares at you with hazy eyes.
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Labor Utopia? Yeah.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He nods solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis?
Los Artis.
They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
That Weasel I visited, turns out he has one hell of a canoe. Let's not tell him. Yeah, because he's probably gonna go tell his boss. The boss doesn't have to know that I checked everything out. What about this guy? Muscle head, measured head, whatever. Weird man.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Right. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys, huh?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last.
He looks towards the coast defiantly.
In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degraded.
Amazing.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
But you're all part of the union.
The Hardy Manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism.
Right.
Finance is an alien concept to the Seminoles. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
Amazing. There's more to it. What have you got against him?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female
Lesbian.
vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
What do you mean?
Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blood.
I already did.
Interesting.
Takes a quick note. Alright. Sure. Open up this door. Head on inside. Don't be afraid to say weird things, they say. Check out these drawers.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Sliding out, a drawer presents you the folders you already went through. On top of them is the handwritten note.
Can I browse?
Hundreds of documents containing logistical and the same materials being you already went through all of these.
Alright.
Remember, Leo, all items of the drawer. So
So nothing new here. And this is the punch clock
the
thing.
already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up
Punch
the
clock or
handset.
payphone. Nah, we're not gonna give you 10 cents for no reason. Come on. That's not what I do. Dude, there's like bottles aplenty here. Probably go up there and grab them. That's not bottles, you know, that's money. Oh, look at all these, man. You got more bottles. Oh my god. This is so much money. What are these guys doing? Do you not need any money? You get another bottle right here. You can search this place again, maybe?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads Rene Arnaud.
Yeah, sure. Apparently it's an invented job just for him. Right, keep it moving. You already pushed the button. I'm gonna try and open this thing.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Persuade the door to open.
And, as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind.
I would love to like break it open or something, but apparently we can't really do that. Which is fine, I guess, you know. Hey, look at these, some bottles here. Now grab the bottle. So it's a plastic bottle? I guess bottles can be plastic.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Lariche said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
I had some questions for you.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Alright, bye-bye. You got nothing for me. I'm gonna go talk to Everett. With my plastic bag in my hand. Filled with old bottles. Hello, Everett.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Great. I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry,
Smacks his forehead.
how
Completely
could you say that
flabbergasted.
to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
I am.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
He perks up. Okay.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
So he is doing something.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
That we will.
You too, Lieutenant.
He chuckles suddenly.
You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
Great.
None taken. Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Didn't quickly reply, stands over to you. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. I opened the door, you asked me, can we discuss the murder now?
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Drama. I may have gone inside and seen a couple of collection of racist mugs.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel.
He shakes his
Pissing on
head.
Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Indeed.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why.
He pretends to roll
Real
up his
police
sleeves.
work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment, and I found a similar mug in the trash with the hanged man's clothes.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment?
He grabs
You
his head
guys
with
are
both
just light
hands.
years ahead of me.
Great.
I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Can you tell me who lives there?
Yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Could be.
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that.
He shakes
All
his
I
head,
want
laughing.
is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Great.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
But this weasel might have cleaned up after the killers.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high caliber case like this.
You sure about that?
But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
He imitates bashing someone with the imaginary baton. What?
With a police baton, like a crook or someone.
Great technique. You make a great sergeant.
Would he? I'm not so sure, buddy.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind.
He chuckles.
I know I'm not a real police officer. You are.
I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys.
Bad guys, huh?
Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Great.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
Did he actually kill someone?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Great.
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
You have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
The mercs, you say. Well, I've seen only one merc. And he's dead. None of you are, so...
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
He laughs. Wait, they move the container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it.
Great.
But enough about me and my fun container.
His
The
face turns
killers the
serious.
company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
Great. 1 second. Alright. They are hired killers. There's 3, so one of them is dead. Where are the other 2 then?
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
Great, so you killed him.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
Great.
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
Great. Wait, the whole neighborhood is on it? Who exactly did the pushing? Yeah.
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labour, but peacekeeping in the neighbourhood.
The Hardy Boys?
Making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Yep, it is.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Really?
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
It is organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land."
Oh, great. Yeah, so they admitted they killed him.
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him.
He chuckles.
I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Great, they're in the bar.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
You can try.
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in.
He chuckles.
Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Sure
He
you did.
places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway,
There was a bullet in the hangman's head.
So they shot him.
He sounds pleasantly surprised.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
Indeed.
How odd.
The man
I don't know
shrugs.
what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
it's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
Great.
What I do know is the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policeman.
Great. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people.
He slams his
That's
fist
their
on the desk.
MO. It's what they do.
Send thugs?
Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
By the company?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
The main guy? Yeah. Give me a second. Alright. Yeah, they're talking about the first guy. He's very big.
That does sound quite unlikely. Yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal.
Alright. You mentioned a lawyer girl.
Oh, Liz is a bright one.
Yeah?
I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
So he paid for her degree. Get it? Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them.
7, huh?
Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members.
Sure, buddy, if you say so.
Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Initiative, of course.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
No one?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders.
Guys, huh? There's one girl, though.
Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
Ever had I met these Hardys? Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Why are you giving it to me?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But
Fuck
I'm
is the
willing
blue?
to share information. Was there anything else?
Alright, let's conclude for
Was
now.
it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
Oh, really?
I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun.
Great
But
sadness comes
it's
over
like
me.
I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Yet.
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left.
He says, slowly
I
shaking his
want
head.
to, but I just can't.
And why can't
A
you?
man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat.
You're right, don't trust me, I take care of me. I'm a hustler, I grind. I'm a money engineer. What that's supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. This is another corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me to do. I'm not a man of the left. I'm a patriot of Revachol.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power, and here's how we're gonna get it. I need you to be my kingsman, Harry.
Great.
Kingsman. Yes. Please. Let's be that.
Don't think so.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper.
He pulls out an
and
envelope.
then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Kim, what do you think of this?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
He studies Everett.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily.
He too
But
bows his
once
head
we
in
get
shame.
really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
Great.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
I mean, I can dig it and then open it. What are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez.
He grins
It will
broadly.
be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
Sure,
There's
maybe.
a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Where is this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
And what will happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
I don't think so.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless?
Am I?
The big man shakes
Harry,
his head in
these
disbelief.
people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
I don't think so.
We're gonna
You-
build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
Fine, if I happen to be there, I can ask them. Sure.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here,
He hands you an open white envelope.
you need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real kingsman and a patriot.
He runs his finger through his thin hair. It turns out the strikers were being served an alcoholic brew. I stopped this madness.
I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it. I love your initiative. Knowing you're out there keeping things running lets me focus on the big picture stuff.
He's probably pretty angry about
Don't
this.
even tell me what was going on. Alcoholic brew, stronger, stopped it, strike. I'm just gonna let you surprise me, Harry.
What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Clafslat crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Great.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container.
Oh, great.
You should at least try convincing it.
Already done that. I met Joyce, the company
Oh,
representative.
that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet.
Really?
I'm very, very busy, you see.
Yeah, just a button
I
on his
hope you're
sleeve.
getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pal, someone is dead?
Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez.
He smiled
Don't feel
widely.
like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy.
Why am I to let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
Doesn't want to meet her. I see.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting.
Great.
Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait.
The man frowned
When she got
disappointingly.
back, the whole thing was over.
Yeah, really?
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry.
He flicks his
Do not
fingers.
fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
Great. Everaz, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course.
He's suddenly very
This
serious.
isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
Great.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Alright, give me a second. Alright, now what was I up to? What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gamut?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing.
The
I
big
let
man
him go.
sounds annoyed. He made concessions to the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family.
Really?
God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget?
Harry!
He
I
exclaims
have
indignant.
little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry.
Oh, come on.
I'm
tr-
only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
I told Joyce that I met you.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization.
I honestly doubt it.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this
He makes an all-encompassing
is secret.
gesture. Okay, he's trying to threaten me as well.
Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
He looks around.
Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Can we go over a few details concerning the murder again?
Most certainly, Harry.
The big man nods
Nothing
merrily.
brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you.
Alright, change
By all
subject.
means, Harry. What's on your mind?
I've just finished investigating the local drug trade.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you.
He adjusts his glasses.
You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershaw doesn't have a mayor.
Yeah, it probably just says you.
He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
I refuse to talk about my gun. I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk later. I'm not gonna talk about my gun. I'll find
Jamais
it.
vu. Derealization.
Derealization. When did I start this?
Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now.
Great.
That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
Great. Opposite of deja vu. Never seen. +1 XP for every orb clicked. Ooh, all intellect learning caps raised by 1. That's pretty good. Deserialization. They all seem real. Something is wrong. Left kid looking at stickers. To want Epic Company World Games. Scratch the corner, see if they peel loose. Most important of all thoughts, the one you really must complete. Rigorous self-critique. Finger pistols 9mm. Embarrassment of the party. I mean, there's so many though. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap raised to 4. Learning cap perception speed gives 1 sigh. Lonesome long way home. But there is why come here via Silver as a dealer. That's all you have now. You no longer live here. Pain threshold +1. Blood oxygen is boring. We'll unlock another one. And then over here, you can get rigorous self-critique. You're one sorry piece of shit, a cop penitent, a flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of mutant lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Maslowian showtime, ripping the flesh from your back with a cat o' nine tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it is your own fault. Do it, really criticize yourself. Who knows? You might uncover something important from a gilded past. Communism is a crazy idea. Fever shook the world. Build communism again. Regular law official. 4 grams of Johnny normal cop. Who would have thought you are extreme cops? Pretty boring things back there. Now you have been 2 choices. You got to leave it behind or try and utilize your normalcy. Internalize it. Get a touch of vanilla back into the herring flavored egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. You know what? Sure. Regular law official. That's me. Very regular. Okay, I also have this item I took. A letter. A white envelope with a stamp attached to the upper right corner, handed to you by Everard Clare. Inside are some legal documents with 2 names printed on them. Isabel City and Lyndon Carter. Both signatures are required. And we also have... yeah, no more points because we spent it getting some thoughts. Don't be afraid to say weird things. We're more forgiving to persons of power, like police officials. I mean, I guess. Perhaps that is true. I'm guessing we can't just...
You're back before the Carlo can...
yeah. A composite eye of halogen lights watches over you, emanating a low pulse. So yeah, they're obviously doing something to the containers, stealing stuff, rebranding it as their own. Like something shady is going on. This much we know. Raining too. We gotta get back into the dry lands. After 21, people settle for bed. Alright. Alright. Make our way quickly. You're not debitors, you're criminals. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Gotta use the other door. We head in. Talk to the Hardy boys if they're still here. Lawyer lady is here. Speak to her, I guess.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Alright, whatever. Titus has stuff to say to me though.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus does not look particularly happy to see you. Me and Everard talked. He promised we'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you.
He spits.
Is that it, lawman?
Yep, it is.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You
Little
gonna
guy
go
leans
and
forward.
tell on us?
Very mature, guys. Everard sent word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word.
Alright, sure.
Let me state this very clearly, capo.
He clears his throat and declares.
Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Alright. Authority godly. Everard asked to cooperate. Discussed 8th Hardy week when you first met. 17% chance. I've already connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have.
He leans back
There
under a
is
fold.
no local drug trade.
So there is,
This
though.
place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos.
Great.
We'll do that. In the meantime,
He points
did you know
south.
that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging.
That
It was
he
one
was.
of you. We've connected the footprints.
He taps on his notebook, then
Detective,
turns to you.
do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
I
The
guess.
thought forms in your head like a lightning strike branching in the sky.
You're right. There is no local drug trade except you.
That's a mighty interesting theory.
He rubs his jaw,
I guess
smiling.
that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
That's what you guys are, the dealers.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly.
He grins.
For the good of the community, of course.
People are always gonna do drugs. This is disgusting. You're admitted to profiting off poisoning your own people.
Who fucking who? People will always be taking drugs.
So they're admitting it. What the
Might
hell?
as well do it clean and organized.
Well, they admit it. Write it down.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right?
My answer is, fuck off.
He takes a step closer.
Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
Nope, she does.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
The woman sighs.
I know.
Little man raises his index
Fatty walked
finger.
on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Great.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
Oh, great. Angus doesn't like that.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours.
Great.
Anything else you need to know?
Establish authority, 28%. Confronted about drug trade, strange reaction to bullet. Everard asked to cooperate, discuss 8th Hardy. You know what? Let's pump up my authority up. And then try this. Psyche. Authority. It's already pumped up to max. Alright, well that's not gonna help then. What is this crown? Procure fascinating trivia. Alright, let's try, I guess. 28%.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't.
I'm the only thing keeping this town from going to hell, and you're not helping. Point finger.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us.
He leans
Going
in.
around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong. All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, fascia.
Fascia.
People
Great.
here trust us. We're getting complaints.
Sure you are.
Fascia. That's short for fascist.
I haven't said anything racist.
Of course you have. You've been calling people Kip left and right, inciting race violence in my town.
Great.
Kylie said they've been trying to set up a race rally, whatever the fuck that means. Trying to get the Kips out of Revachol before the economy goes to shit.
Great. I'm not a racist. All I care about is Revachol and its people. And if some foreigner... Oh, great. That's a lie. There's no race rally.
Sure there is. Kylie said they're bulk purchasing confetti, ribbons too, and loudspeakers,
Shakes his head.
and fireworks. Kylie works at the carnival shop, you see.
Great.
Get the fuck out of here, you racist carny.
She just points at the
There'll
door.
be no race rally in my town.
What
Great.
happened? We got absolutely wiped. Let's go before it gets worse.
Great.
What's going on? Are you racist now? Is the rally real? Please don't set up any rally. It'll make you look awful.
I'm gonna get off now. Take off, I mean. Not get off. Alright. But I am getting closer, I guess, to establishing authority. Not much closer, mind you, but closer is closer. Grab the bottles from the trash. Who's leaving so many bottles around here, man? Oh, no. That's XP. The book is titled Man from Emulcifier and the Wildfire. That is important to me because we can keep searching the trash cans. I mean, this is just an unlimited source of money, I guess. That's what this is. Talk to the lady on the boat. We're not doing very well against her, but you know, we can keep trying.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
She takes a sip from a silvery thermal cup. I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives.
She says in a tone
In
more
any
cautious.
case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Let's go.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Where are the other two people?
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
What was this about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
You think there's gonna be a war?
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
Tell me again, how are the lynching and the strike connected?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor
They did,
as
huh?
an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
What was this momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
So they want to threaten them.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to
Yes.
convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humour.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
It didn't work though.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell,
Crenell.
an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
Sounds pretty bad.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
They shot him.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
It's pretty bad.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
You made a mess here.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree.
A wave crashes against side of your
My
boat.
hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenell indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
And violence will ensue.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant?
She leans back.
It's not pretty.
The Sedai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Okay, so they are like, I mean, they have super military training and all.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said,
She's
a
sad for a moment.
bloodbath.
Yeah. I can't see it happen. Too many things have to go wrong. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true.
She looks at you, eyes
Nameless,
damp from the wind.
badgeless detective of the citizens' militia.
Great.
All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Alright. What can you tell me about the colonel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Downwell.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
They're just mercenaries.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
She thinks again.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is charged with coordinating law enforcement activities in complex multinational investigations. Their database is the single largest source of information in the world.
Do we have access to it?
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I would be dealing with a group like Crenell.
For now. Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off.
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Alright.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Alright. Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
Somebody passed to me. Okay. What did the teenager by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
That's what they've told everyone, okay.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Whirling in rags, we know.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Okay, this colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was?
Lely,
Lely.
his service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Okay, so it's a full team.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased?
They didn't cutscene, huh?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
Doesn't remember?
I can't remember.
There's a bang of regret to her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
She didn't know him that well, okay.
That's alright, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
It was there, right?
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body.
He says
What
to you,
else?
then turns back to Joyce.
Nationality? Accent?
He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe.
Messinian.
His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury.
She nods.
That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Only once, huh? Okay. Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out.
She puts a foot on the guard
For
wire
one,
for balance.
They're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
Makes sense. Guns.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Logic. Where are those mercenaries? Sent by the Pines. Clothes didn't fit right. Okay.
One is obviously the scab leader
Huh.
at the harbor gates.
So that makes sense.
The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Okay.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Okay. One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates. The scab leader.
That may be so.
Maybe so. She's poised and
I still hope
unperturbed.
you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
Okay.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Yes, it doesn't.
Of course it bothers me,
Oh, it does.
Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably hiding in a building overlooking the roundabout.
Would afford a good vantage point.
She says.
In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
She nods towards the sloop's cabin. I had another question for
I
you.
hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
Okay, so we don't know.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Alright, that's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now can you tell me about these tattoos? Yeah, show the photo.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hands.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a Interrogate not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Okay, stay quiet. Observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Okay, what do you think?
Sorry.
She
I
breaks her
was trying
concentration.
to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Okay. Size, location on their body, and distance. Okay, like biases on a microcircuit. What the hell is bias?
Close. Port cities.
Port
This
cities.
is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
So it's like a sailor thing. Okay, it's a tattoo. So what travels does the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder.
She points to it on the
He
photo.
started somewhere near here, I think.
So he was from Verdefort. Okay.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this,
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol.
Ah.
Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Islary Age.
Okay.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Okay, so the geographic, but no, we don't know what it means. But maybe he has moved over there. Maybe he did operations there. He worked there.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
Huh. Maybe it's a record of his military career.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Great. Now, who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Makes sense.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
I need the information. Mark it down. Ask Mooks about tattoos.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
I'd like to try at least.
We will be careful.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I have some more information about reality.
More lessons in basic reality?
She positively
My
surprised.
favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
James Wu thought complete. Wow, okay. What is, think of something close to you. RCM authority comes from coalition. RCM uses unjacketed ammo. RCM came debrief done. Or what is, reach for something fundamental. Do it.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
Peering pearls of paradise look onto the sea.
Of bodies of water and forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the Dolorian century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
Okay, they coined a term for it. What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium. Is that the one with the evil apes?
Not in this case, no. That sounds more like something the Mesk petrofascists might say.
Gaze wonders.
The Confederate Republic of Mesk, the world's largest state by territory, has fallen into an especially nihilistic strain of nationalism lately.
Unfortunate.
It isn't enough to call us animals. Even animals aren't animals.
Okay, what are animals then?
They're like you and I suppose. Living organisms don't identify with abstractions. Elysium is for particular beings.
Elysium, the world needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
Okay, I don't think I have got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world?
She raises a finger to her lips.
There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
How about it's a ball?
That's looking less and less likely, Detective.
Less likely.
You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
Wait, the world is not a sphere in this one?
ORG, Occident Revischolgrad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
Dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface.
Water.
There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
So the world is broken?
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait, what the hell are you telling me?
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be.
Her voice becomes homely, calm. She lets a moment pass. The pale, and what do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by
So
nothingness.
it's a shattered planet in space. That's what we're living on? That's what we're living on? Sounds not likely.
I am sorry, dear.
She looks around.
It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here.
Sounds crazy, but sure.
This is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Fracture corona doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together? Yeah.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Doesn't sound like any disco I'd like to go to.
But you already have.
I already have. Huh.
And you're doing just fine. Despite the rubble.
Alright.
The lieutenant observes you both silently. He adjusts his glasses.
What is? Think of something close to you. Yeah.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
You said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
It's space, right?
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Great.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I don't want to. I want to know what the pale is. What do you mean it's not part of reality?
Ma'am,
He turns to her
remember
again.
you are dealing with a very sensitive and impressionable police officer who is still recovering from a recent medical episode.
The Lieutenant's right. Let's change topics.
Talk to Joyce about the pale
What
without
do you want to
Kim.
know? Anything.
Great.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here. Unless you can convince him to step aside.
Kim trusts you. Alright. Step aside.
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim can talk to the ma'am alone for a second.
Fine.
He steps away with his notes.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Now what is the pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes. What is the pale?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Okay. What is an isola?
Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7.
7 isolas. Okay, isolas are in isolation.
Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is?
An oceanic isola. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla, the coldest, Insulinde, the bluest. What can I say?
She stops.
Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, so there's like different chunks of the world, I guess. Okay, what is and surrounded by space? Okay, what is the Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless.
It's space, yeah.
The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
The negation of.
That's right. The negation of being.
She tightens her hood around her neck. It's cold outside. Is it here? Look around.
No, detective. We're safe.
She points to the sea.
It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale.
Really?
Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
Porch collapse. Huh?
Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapour marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's
Marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. It's
the most disco thing you will ever see.
great. Give me a second. Alright, let's finish this. Most disco thing, right. What are its physical quantities?
It's difficult to describe or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic.
Great.
The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working.
It's like a quantum
No
thing?
one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
It's surrounded by Pale. How do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is
Our
so
lungs deflate.
difficult for us.
The words sound like a sigh. So difficult.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbour. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path.
Okay.
But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost or having our minds damaged.
Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
That's made of time?
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Great.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible.
You felt it?
International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
Okay, so it's got a radiation thing into it. Okay, interesting.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger?
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
22 compared to 6. That's a lot.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships.
She nods.
It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
Great. What is endopronetic?
Entreprenetics
She correct.
is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not travelled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super Isola. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation.
Okay.
Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
And what has endoponics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale.
So there's no air to push, I guess.
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
It's expanding. Slipping how? Determined to our detriment, or?
What do you think, Detective?
Looks you in the eye. It's shrinking. There is more and more of the world. It's growing. There is more and more of the Pale. Probably.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate.
So maybe there was no Pale and then everything just blew apart, huh?
An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
It's not extreme at all. It's gonna happen.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Alright, let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality.
She stomps her foot.
But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's terrifying. You're right. It's disco. It'll end all life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate total ruthless communism. Powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. I'm worried. I have to say it doesn't sound very liberal. I don't know how you all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it? I think that we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Rise tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you. Your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. I'll handle it. It's under control.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent.
That's good to hear.
In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
Right, let's get to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
She nods a goodbye. Alright, that's a big thing. Oh yeah.
Regular law official.
That's what I am.
You've done it, Harry. Whatever else you are, you're also boring now.
Oh, great.
It was not easy. You spent most of your life trying to funk up every nook and cranny of your personality. When someone says something political, the first 3 thoughts in your head are a ludicrous hodgepodge of communism, fascism, and stock tips. When they ask you why you did something, it's superstardom, apocalypse, or the mea culpas of the flagellant cop monk. It's not easy reaching for the 4th option, the normal one, but you have. And now, you're not just crazy, you're also boring.
Hopefully boring can get work done. -1 shivers, -1 inland empire, dull but solid, strong grasp of reality. All learning caps raised to 3. That's good. All learning caps raised to 3, you say? Yeah, authority. Crank it. Crank all authority up. Now I have a lot of authority. So authority, what does authority do again? Intimidate the public, assert yourself. Cool. For leaders, experts of psychological warfare, respect junkies. Authority urges you to assert and reassert dominance over and over those around you. It enables you to understand the power dynamics of groups of thugs, know how far you can push a perpetrator, and how to establish control of situations. At high level, authority demands respect. Even a perceived slight could send you into a knee-breaking mode. With low authority, however, you're forward to okay. Right. I'm supposed to be able to open this damn door and get in.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the
Knock again.
door rattles again.
Stop banging on the door!
Who am I speaking to?
From within.
It's the police.
The police? No. Go check.
Backyard door. There must be another.
Alright. Yeah, I saw the backyard door. There's no way in from the damn backyard door. This is the backyard door. We can access it, but
There must be another way into the building.
it's so loud. What the hell happened here? Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall. Is there someone in this house? It is nighttime. Nope. No one I can see. Alright, well. Keep running. Does my authority help me with this wall? Don't think so.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
In the dimming light, something becomes clearer. Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. Alright, we'll try it.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
Alright.
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
Right. Alright, let's get down to business, I guess. Whatever you say, bud. What do we have? Alright, let's interact with this.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Look at the zoning plan. 10 to 40 month? What the hell?
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine.
Didn't
I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
He shrugs.
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way.
Really? We'll find a loophole. Center is very close to houses.
There is no loophole.
Really?
The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access.
Oh,
and
wow.
for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Wait, what are the ramifications of this?
Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Look, Kim, point of photography. These people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it.
The Lieutenant frowns as he read over the document again.
Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Everett probably has eyes on us, but he possibly thinks we could try and get the other people to sign on this instead of those listed, or forge the signatures yourself.
However,
Alright.
we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village.
He shrugs.
You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the water line.
The document's back in the envelope. Alright. Fractured bullet.
The bullet is still
Alright, nothing. We can interact with this thing.
an intricate web of blue lines
Yeah, so
stretching
this
across
is-
the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their
So as he
cross.
crossed the space
Hundreds
thing,
of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory, but not quite.
okay, so nothing new with that. Alright, whatever. We have Victim's tattoos. Ask our tattoo's possible meaning. Ask another about the tattoo's possible meaning. Alright. So we keep asking people. Can we ask this lady? I doubt it, honestly. Move closer. Pick it up. There you go. Hello, ma'am. Sorry to bother you again. That's
The
all.
woman
Let's not disturb her too much. We cannot help it. Glass bottle. Hey Kuno, let's talk to you again.
Fuck does Kuno care?
The boy turns to you. He doesn't care. Alright, don't care then. Trying to get like the drug trade, whatever. With your dad. Can I do this actually?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown.
Ah, okay. No. Maybe I can establish authority now. We've got a lot of authority now. So it's going. I have come here to establish authority.
It's you again.
He acknowledges it
What is
gruffly.
it?
I have come here to establish authority. I talked to Joyce, the Mercury hanged. His friends are coming for you. Confronted about drug trails, strange reaction to Bullet. I've asked you to cooperate. Discussed Ace Hardy, week when you first met. You know what? I can't save, huh? Take off now. I'll save and then I'll talk to them about this. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. But quick save me.
It's you again. What is it?
Maybe this will intimidate some more. Make me get authority better. I talked to Joyce, the Mercury hanged. His friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
They're snickering in the room. Some of his men put their beards down. Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands.
Mm-hmm.
Other people start doing it too.
Yep.
Let them come. The
Blondie
Hardy
yells
boys
across
are
the
right
cafeteria.
fucking here.
Uh-huh.
You heard the man. Right here.
He points to the ground.
We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Great.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
He punches beyond the soldier. Do you know the single series giant hornet can kill 40 bees in a minute? This criminal is bad news. Armed with automatic weapons. Yeah.
We got weapons of our own.
He cracks open his
We
vest
got
to give you a glimpse of his
ST-50s,
holster.
Zealagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Well, they pierce the ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
That was an unsure phrasing.
See what? That they don't?
Yeah. Like you've been up against ceramic armor.
Takes a sip of his beer to bide his time. Tries to get the last word in.
You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Joyce says they've gone rogue. Nobody's. This is this criminal is bad news. You know that, right? Spray
So
of
are
beer.
the local gangs, the fucking Barmy army, and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
You killed them all?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh?
He points south.
Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
Great.
These people are trained military professionals, special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or barmy army.
No,
they're
they're
not.
They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
Really? Do you know a single Siamese giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You're bees. They're the hornet.
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Uh-huh.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you.
He turns to you.
What are you trying to do? Scare my men?
That I am. Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody's controlling them.
Big fucking surprise.
He mutters.
They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
Alright, conclude with a shrug.
What do you mean? Okay.
Just out a bit. I mean, okay, they're gonna wipe you the fuck out. It is. I mean, okay, you've got this. You got the numbers. I mean, okay, I'll be by 7 they come. Okay, you got one more gun on your side. I mean, okay, I guess I'll be gunning them down alongside them. I mean, okay, they're gonna wipe you the fuck out, Titus.
No, they won't.
He
Get
shakes
out of
his
here
beard
with
at you.
your negative energy.
We'll
He
see.
really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that on what might be the eve of battle.
Yep.
All it means
Demoralized
is
him.
that the situation is serious.
That it is.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
Warned about the tribunal, dude. Authority is high now.
You have so
Oh my
many
God.
bad options ruled out. It's insane. There is no way in the world you won't do it this time.
Kim, I'm getting total garbage here. Please help.
You know what? You guys must be the cops. Because this is what cops do, right?
There are nods and turns to address the room.
He's had enough. He's really gonna push their buttons now.
Live in a bar, sit on their fat asses like they own the place, while the neighborhood goes to shit. Corpses hang from trees. Kids shoot up.
Hey, we don't have to fucking take this shit.
Glenn.
Everyone shut up!
Titan's loud baritone echoes from the mess hall walls and the entire cafeteria falls silent.
Fuck you, man.
His eyes are fixed
You
on
didn't
Kim.
see the place before we got here. Fucking graffito everywhere.
Great.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal.
He turns to Titus.
All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
Great.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
I've asked this before. Why are you hiding the victim? One more push. It's not about who did it. It's the victim. She needs help. Someone's brave. We need. Yeah, just shout. Why are you hiding the victim?
Titus is hiding nothing.
She turns to the Hulk of a man.
Titus?
He's angry.
You want to talk to her?
He's too angry to drink.
Fine, talk to her.
Nice.
I got nothing to hide.
Dude, done.
Everybody has something to hide. He certainly does.
Nice. We got the location.
So long as you treat her with respect. No questioning, no harassing, or you got the freight train of pain heading your way.
Grinds his fist into his
You
palms.
understand?
Yeah.
What is her name?
The lieutenant takes out his notes.
Flacia, I'm on due.
Boom.
She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde.
Titus
That's
adjusts his
I'm
cap.
on due with an O-U.
Alright.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Composure medium 11. Great. Clearly someone do. Cool. Keep your cool. Talked about your room and crying. So you don't remember. Reality said you don't remember being a cop. Oh, great.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
Great.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing.
Gives you a
We
sideways
just
glance.
have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
So what was the relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Okay.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, so he was maybe a bad guy.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
So, the rape. When was that?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again.
He crushes his
So
half-empty
what
beer
does
can.
it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
Yeah.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Turns to Glenn.
Here you go, boss.
Tall blonde throws him a can. Titus cracks it open. So, what was your relationship with her?
I know her.
He looks around and uncomfortable silence fills the room. More than no, I guess.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
Crosses his arms.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
So she's not from around here?
You mean Revachol? Nah. She's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Okay.
Don't you give her any more trouble.
The fat guy blurts
She's
out.
just had some bad luck, that's all.
Bad luck, huh?
Shut up, Angie.
Slaps his
She
forehead.
doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent.
You said you partied. Cool, that's cool. What did you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Was it sex?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so the two of you were close.
No, we just fucked. That's all.
He states matter of
I'm
factly.
not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
I'm just asking questions.
He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
I think I know her.
You don't know her.
You're wrong, I do.
Not the way I do.
Alright, sure. We'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Stop. Let's go over the rape victim again.
Again? Seriously, man.
Shakes his head.
Fine. Fire away.
Enough about it.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna take off now. Alright, so we got the information we needed. He's back to drinking his beer. Sure. Two in the chest and down he goes.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
That's a check
You
here, right?
see
Yeah.
2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50 years. It takes time for a hedge like that to form.
It's not gonna work, probably.
There's a
Oh, it
yellow
did.
ribbon
My
tied
God.
to one of the branches,
Ooh.
light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket, hanging from it, a bronze key.
Ooh.
Someone hid the key in the bush and attached the yellow ribbon to make it easier to find.
Nice find.
It's
then.
close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
So it's inside here. Someone hid a key in the bush. Point at the window.
Huh?
The big guy looks behind him. And you guys to hand the key to me. Can you guys let me slide by so I can grab the thing?
I don't know about that.
The tattered man yawns and
I'm
settles more
comfortable
comfortably
here.
on the bench.
Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
Great.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table.
Take the key.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old
Workshop
man
spare.
closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Oh, thank you.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in?
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you. Not to the old
Don't
man.
thank me.
The old man takes
I
out
don't
his
give
pack of
2
chewing
shits
tobacco.
about your key.
Great.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the union box window?
Didn't even know it was there.
The man looks at the key in your hands. Then around the room.
No idea.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
Look at the key in your hand. I wonder what doors does it open.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door.
You look at the key in your
It
hand.
says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
Probably.
It's worth a try.
Alright, leave. Oh, that's nice. Can we interact with it? Probably not, though. Oh, I guess it's a key. Key to room number 1, Debedar's union card, key to basement apartment, spare key for workshop. That's very good. So we can talk to him again. Sure. Then we'll end it.
Officer, what was that?
What was what?
You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name.
He looks you in
Do
the
you
eye.
know that woman?
Yes.
Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
I didn't rave her. I met her in the hallway after I woke up. She knows the name of being a cop. The pretty crazy stuff had I passed out, partied hard. I asked her where we are, what city this is, maybe what here, something like that. I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
She knows didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
She knows I did some pretty crazy stuff before I passed out, that I partied hard, not very mental healthy days.
So she overheard you? Or did you party together?
She overheard me listening to music and doing weird things from her room. The one next to yours.
Anything else?
I asked her where we are, what city this is, maybe even what here, something like that.
That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else?
Nothing, let's move
We'll
on.
be alright, officer. This is nothing.
That's
You
good.
feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be alright.
Nice, heal
Is
my
it
morale.
though? Nothing. You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up.
We will try not to. Alright, we'll end it here as well. See you all in the next one. Click on save. See you all in the next one.